After the shot heard round the world at the Battle of Lexington and Concord, the colonial militia drove the British back to Boston, a major port city and base of the American Revolution. While extremely fortified, Boston was vulnerable to cannon fire from Dorchester Heights, an area on the Charleston Peninsula south of the city.
The American Revolution had many battles, such as the Battle of Brandywine, the Battle of Saratoga, and the Battle of Yorktown. Now we welcome you to Lights, Camera, Revolutionary War, the Battle of Bunker Hill.
On June 15, 1775, Patriots got word that the British were planning on occupying Dorchester Heights, part of the Charleston Peninsula in Charleston, Massachusetts, tactically located between the Mystic and Charles River.
American spies informed militia officers Israel Putnam and William Prescott, who convinced General Artemas Ward to fortify the peninsula.
The night before the British were going to attack, William Prescott, Artemas Ward, and 1,500 colonial militiamen built a 160 by 30-foot redoubt on the crest of both Breed's Hill and Bunker Hill. British General Thomas Gage ordered his 2,300 soldiers under the command of Major General William Howe to take the hill the next morning when the tide rose enough for the boats, though most of the soldiers weren't sent. Later that night, Colonel Stark arrived from New Hampshire to help further fortify the structures.
On June 17th, the British woke early to find this great fortification across the river. After crossing the Mystic River, they immediately opened fire on Prescott, Stark, and their men. During the firing, the colonial militia stayed behind the cover and didn't shoot a single bullet. According to legend, Prescott instructed his men not to fire until they could see the whites of their enemies' eyes.
The firing upon the militia didn't cease until 3 o'clock that afternoon, when the British received reinforcements from the river. After exiting the boats, the Redcoats assembled into lines in order to unleash an assault on the militia. They began to ascend Breed's Hill.
As the first British wave ascended the hill, the colonists held their fire. They were suffering from a lack of surprise. When the Brits were roughly 50 yards away, the colonists struck. They launched a deadly volley of fire, driving the Redcoats back down the hill. Once again, the British formed lines, and again they ascended up the hill. This time, they were still driven back, but not as badly. When the British regrouped for their third attack, the colonists fled. They had run out of ammo and other supplies.
Though the British ended up taking Dorchester Heights, they suffered great losses. Of the 2,300 British troops, over 1,000 were either dead or wounded. 92 of the dead troops were officers. That's 1/4 of all the officers who were killed in the entire Revolutionary War. American colonists everywhere realized that the British weren't as mighty as they appeared, and many colonists began fighting back, sparking the American Revolution. Next time on Lights, Camera, Revolutionary War, the Battle of Long Island.